So today's video, we've just come out for a little mooch around and along the Leeds and Liverpool Canal, and we're going to talk about a growing trend, and a disturbing growing trend at that, and one that involves callous people throwing dogs into the canal in which we're walking along now. And this is going to be a topic which is going to upset and infuriate and anger a lot of viewers, and quite rightly. But we felt it important to talk about this because it's not the first time something like this has been reported in the local news, in the local press, the Lancashire Telegraph and Lancs Live. And here in the northwest of England, for those who may not know, we are surrounded by canals, waterways. Well, as we were saying, over the years, there seems to be a growing trend of people not just throwing dogs into the canal, but actually weighing them down using the harnesses and the leads, and placing rocks and lead and other heavy objects to make sure that that dog doesn't resurface. But we thought we'd come out today, walk along the canal and talk a little bit about this, because personally, myself and Vicky, as responsible pet owners, we find it absolutely disgusting what is going on. And we hope that this video, if it does get picked up by the YouTube algorithm and it does get shared and people are quite rightly angered by it, maybe some names may be mentioned, and maybe some people will be reported to the police for doing what they are doing to animals. So in recent months, as we were saying, authorities and animal rescue organisations, they've been raising the alarm about an unsettling trend and the abandonment of dogs in canals. And this cruel act has led to many tragic outcomes, as you can imagine, with some dogs drowning and others being rescued, but they're often traumatised. Now, the rise in such cases has prompted animal welfare advocates to question the motives behind, obviously, this practice and seek solutions to try and curb it. So what is leading a lot of people to simply discard the dogs in such cruel, inhuman ways? Well, one of them could well be economic, financial hardship. We know times are tough, we know living standards and the price of, or the cost of living's getting much higher and tougher to keep control of. So perhaps there is that side of it. Perhaps people are struggling financially, and one of the ways to cost cut is simply to get rid of your dog. Now, another one could be maybe a lack of awareness. Maybe some dog owners have got these puppies, obviously young age puppies. They don't realise just how expensive a dog can be, or any pet. Vet bills. You've also got obviously your food, maintenance. You've got the time taken to take dogs for walks. I mean, obviously if people are working and they just simply haven't got time to be up early in the morning or late at night, I don't know. But that's just two examples. I think, Vicky, you've got some more, haven't you, there?
Yeah, dog fighting.
Yep, illegal dog fighting we read upon, didn't we?
Yep.
We believe that, what is it, a lot of people, they're breeding dogs simply to fight, aren't they?
Yep.
And obviously,
when they're no good.
Yeah, when these dogs are finished, or they're not used to, obviously, these illegal dog breeders, they're discarded. Mental health, I think that was another one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You know, mental health's been mentioned in people, in that
they don't actually know they're doing what they're doing, though, do they?
Yeah. So some people could be having a bad time, a really hard time, and they don't realise what's the word I'm looking for? The abuse that they may be committed to these dogs. With that one, I kind of find it difficult, because I think you know what you're doing when you're putting a dog in a bag and weighing it down in the canals.
And let's be honest, once you get a pet, usually it's supposed to be as a family member.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
What about the breed now?
Yes, I mean, that's a good point, isn't it? Because the governments are always changing the rules on what kind of dogs people can own legally. And when I say that, I'm on about these most dangerous dogs. So obviously you've got your pit bulls, is it XL bullies? I'm not quite sure what kind of breed, to be quite honest, because we don't own one. We've got Shih Tzus. So I'm not quite sure what kind of breed. Maybe you in the comments can let us know.
But it seems to be a certain type of breed that are being weighted down and left
It is.
against the canals.
It is.
And it's not actually the breeds that are illegal, is it?
I'm not sure, I will be honest, but it does seem, like Vicky said, it does seem that quite a lot of the dogs that we've been hearing about do seem to be these pit bull kind of dogs, doesn't it? And perhaps that is, you know, it is a common theme. And is that one of the reasons? Is it because these dogs are now made illegal and people don't want to pay the expense of going to the vets? I don't know.
Well, you'll put some pictures over, won't you?
Yeah, we'll put pictures over, and we'll show, you know, some of these newspaper articles, some of these reports that we have come across. Now, reports from various regions indicate a sharp increase in the number of dogs found in canals. Rescue teams have recovered both living and deceased animals from these waterways, and it does paint a grim picture of neglect and abuse. And while precise numbers vary, the trend is undeniably and deeply concerning. So why, you may be asking, are we doing a video such as this today? Well, like I said at the very start, we do have 2 dogs ourselves who we love to bits, and we can't imagine anything awful happening to our dogs, can we?
No, they're a family member.
They are a family member. You know, they are family members. But I can't imagine anything untoward happening, and I for certain could never hurt or harm, not just our dogs, but any dog. So what is it with these people, Vic, do you think, who can simply do it? And I believe there's no remorse. I don't think they think about what they're doing, or do they? I don't know.
They can't have any attachment at all. I don't know.
To put a dog, it might not even be a pet as such. Like, even if it's one of these that's been used for illegal breeding, or illegal fighting, I should say, you still have empathy and emotion to an animal, don't you? Surely.
Well, these people don't, to do what they're doing.
But
this is going off track. But remember, a couple of years ago in the Rosendale area, people were putting
they were putting poisons in meat and blades.
Yeah,
they were putting razor blades in meat as well, weren't they?
Yeah.
Leaving them in the park near where we were. So obviously you let your dog roam and run around freely, and it's picking up these bits of ham or meat or whatever, and they've got poison on, they've got sharp objects in it. Obviously it's going to do a lot of
what type
harm.
of person does that?
It's disgusting. What kind of person does things like that? It really is disgusting.
Because they know doing that. I know, don't get me wrong, the worst thing is drowning a dog. But even doing that dog could be killed from, what's the word? Internal bleeding.
Internal bleeding, infections, all kinds of stuff.
So that's the same type of person.
It's absolutely disgusting. It really is. Like we say, it's off topics like that, but it's still, that was a growing trend. What, about 4 or 5 years ago, maybe?
Was it not COVID times?
COVID times.
It was.
Yeah, COVID times. There were a lot of people, weren't there?
Yeah.
We'll carry on walking this way and talk some more.
Let's be honest. I don't believe it's anything to do with mental health, and I'll be honest with you, even the economic climate we're in, I don't think it's that, because most people would just take them to a shelter, because if they can't afford, they love their animals, they would take them to a shelter.
This is exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to touch upon, so what can people do if they are struggling, either mentally, financially, or they simply do not want the dogs. Like Vicky's just said, you take them to a shelter. You've got Bleakholt Animal Sanctuary not too far from where we live, haven't we?
Yeah, there's plenty across.
You've got RSPCA. You've also got charitable organisations, and we'll put links down below, but there's charitable organisations that will take dogs.
And there's also foster people,
There's foster people.
Yeah.
There's an whole manner. There's vets you could go to for advice. There's an whole manner of places where people can go, you know, for advice and help.
And like when you talk about the vet's fee, from what I believe is if you're on income support or something like that, you can actually get vet's fees paid for by going somewhere.
So there is ways to look after them, to pay for it.
That's what I've heard. Now, obviously, we're not in that situation, but I've heard that is. So again, when there's help there, why are people doing this? This is people who are not attached to their animals.
It does make me wonder, like Vicky said further back, that most of the cases of this happening do seem to be of a certain breed, doesn't it?
It's a certain breed and a certain
bulls.
person.
And and this is going to upset people, but I really don't care. I really don't care now, because this is a subject, it's awful, isn't it? Yeah. But we'll carry on walking.
Like we have got a lot of our subscribers ourselves recently lost the animals.
Yeah.
We've gone to shelters to give them another chance of a new home. I won't obviously mention our subscribers' names, but recently a lady did with her husband.
Yeah.
That's
And the speaker witch.
Oh,
There's
yeah,
a dog right in front of
yeah.
us. I'll tell you guys around before
So
it runs off.
it is, a lot of people are going to these rescue homes, shelters to adopt, should I say, give them a second chance.
Yeah.
So it is going on. People aren't just going buying puppies.
Now, Vicky,
Yes, dear.
I think one or two people are just going to say we're just doing this for clicks and views. To them people, I would say, grow up.
Yeah.
We know if this takes off, it's obviously going to get clicks and views. We're not naive. We know that.
This is about awareness.
But this is about public awareness as to what's going on out there. And this is about myself and Vicky pleading with anybody out there who may know somebody who has done this. Like I said, there was an article just last week in the Lancashire Telegraph where a dog has been found fastened inside a bag. This bag has been weighted down and the poor animal is drowned. Now, we will have put pictures over, not of, obviously, a drowned animal. We're not that insensitive. But the Telegraph, obviously, they blur out some of these images.
I think for us reporting on this, it's because we are dog owners ourselves.
Yeah, we are.
And you just can't understand the mentality of somebody doing that. It is a family member. If you are an animal, you've got an animal of any sort, that's your part of your family.
Yeah.
You just don't do it.
And the thing is, animals can't talk back.
No.
They can't tell us when they're in pain. Well, I suppose they can if they're in pain because they whimper. They kind of go into their own little shell, don't they? As an owner, you kind of know when your dog's feeling it.
Yeah, you do.
But these dogs that have been taken to these canals, or this stretch of canal, the Leeds and Liverpool canal, and especially in Burnley, they probably went out with their owners thinking they're going for a walk.
Yeah.
They're probably full of life. They probably thought, oh, this is good, the weather.
Just think of how that dog is going under the water, weighted down, and
yeah, I'm being drowned.
Can't do anything.
It's disgusting. It really is disgusting. So, like I said, the whole purpose of this short video today, it is just to walk around. The weather's nice, but we wanted to mention it. We really did. We have reached out to a dog rescue foundation during the week, but sadly they've not replied for whatever reason, because we thought that obviously having a YouTube channel, having a healthy subscriber count, obviously if the algorithm does pick this video up and it does get shared, it will raise the awareness of people, and hopefully
if they could actually speak up and say there was places to bring them.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So like I said, we're hoping that this short video, this little walk around, will bring some people to justice.
And if you see anybody looking suspicious against a canal when you're going for a walk, just take that extra 5-10 minutes to see what they're doing.
And hover around. Because we've done that before now, haven't we, in certain places. When we felt there's something not quite right, you just hover around for an extra 5 minutes till that person goes, or until you're confident that there's nothing dodgy going on. We've done it during video and certain stories. You just get a gut instinct sometimes, don't you? Sometimes that gut instinct's completely wrong, but at least you've kind of helped in some way.
I think it's your mind at rest as well.
And it puts your mind at rest, exactly. So yeah. Can't
exactly say on this one if you like the video.
Yeah, exactly. Normally I would say if you like this video, but if you can, share the video. Let's get these people brought to justice once and for all. Like I said, there's people out there, 100% there's people out there. They're the probably wrong type of people. But
and let us know if it's going on in your area.
Yeah, have you got instances of this happening where you are, no matter where in the world you are? But have you had instances of animals being found just discarded, either tied to gateposts or, thrown in waterways? Let us know down below. Let's raise some awareness, and let's get these sick betards brought to justice.
And I don't think, personally, there is enough prison sentences or charges brought against the people who are mistreating animals. That's something that we need to look at.
I mean, at the end of the day, will people argue and say, well, prisons are full enough? They don't want people, you know, going to prison for discarding animals.
Yeah, but
I mean,
they say, oh, they've been
I agree, by the way.
Yeah, I know. These people have got a 12-month ban or something about not having an animal again. Who goes and checks on them?
Yeah, exactly.
That's just not enough.
Exactly. So yeah, comment down below if you've heard of something similar, or if you've heard of the ones locally here in Accrington, Burnley, Colne, in the northwest of England. Let's bring these so-and-sos to justice, because they're sick individuals. They really are. I mean, a lot of the outcry that's in the papers, in the comment section, a lot of people saying, just let me add them. Let me tie them in a big black bag and drop them into the canals and see if they like it. Obviously they won't, because they'll drown, thankfully. But yeah, just let us know your thoughts down below. Like I said, this isn't for clicks and views. We know it might get clicks and views, but it isn't for that. This is solely us venting, frustrated. You know, we're willing to help local communities raise awareness. We've got in touch with one. If they get back in touch, we're willing to work with them. You know, we'll put some kind of ad, start some videos or something like that. I don't know, but if we can raise some awareness and get these incidents stopped, then I'll be more than happy to talk to people about it. I mean, what do you think to that? I think we could, and I think we've got enough subscribers now to raise awareness.
Because a lot of our subscribers are animal lovers as well.
Yeah, and responsible animal owners as well. Yeah, true. So we're going to leave it here. Like I said, it's only probably a 10-minute video at best, this. But if you can share the video, and obviously let's get the word out there, let's get this public outcry, let's get the band rolling and bring some of these people to justice. Because, you know what I mean, it's not about helping our channel with this one, it's about helping these poor defenseless animals. It really is. But if you can share it, obviously, it will mean it's getting out there. And the more people that know about it, yeah, and like I said, bring these awful individuals to justice. So I'm not going to say please share, comment, subscribe. You already know that, guys, but yeah, but tell us your thoughts. Do you have something similar happening in your neck of the woods? Let us know, just let us know. And if any organisations get to see this video and we can find a way to work together to try and raise more awareness, we are more than happy to do so. We really are. But in the meantime, guys, I'll just say it, just take care of yourselves, yeah? And also take care of all those little furry animals.